is the most exciting event of all three alpine disciplines. Downhill racing combines the thrill of high speed, the sensation of flying, and the fight against centrifugal and gravitational forces. Mastering a run down the mountain as fast as possible represents the ultimate challenge to a skier. To gain and maintain the highest possible velocity, downhill racers are skiing in a very low and aerodynamically favorable tuck position. This position has been refined through wind tunnel testing. The tuck position is held on straightaways, through big radius turns, and in jumps while airborne. Every ski racer has a slightly different tuck position because of the various builds of their bodies. In a tuck position, skis and feet have to remain in a wide stance, hip-wide apart. Skis have to be flat on the snow, not sliding on the inside or outside edge. Weight is divided over the whole foot, and the lower legs are comfortably moved forward. The upper body must be parallel to the skis and snow, the head slightly upright. Arms must be aligned with the lower legs, and elbows must be bent. Hands are placed in front of the face and together, leaving enough space to watch the course. Aerodynamically unfavorable are positions where lower back is too high. Or too low. Also, the position where shoulders and head are too high. A too high head position increases the wind resistance and is uncomfortable. A too low head position makes it impossible to watch the line. The position where arms are stretched too far forward is very uncomfortable. Arms pulled back towards the chest and elbows to the side of the knees have significant aerodynamic disadvantages. Arms stretched forward and down increases wind resistance and reduces speed. Hands apart and aligned with the lower legs is aerodynamically the best position, but very unstable and therefore not feasible. When skiing through undulated terrain, the low tuck position has to be opened up in order to create more absorbing space between upper legs and upper body. The hip-shoulder axis must, however, always remain in parallel position to the terrain. If the terrain gets steeper, the upper body has to be moved forward and down. The aggressive move forward and down with arms and upper body is the technique used to absorb jumps and rolls. Arms and upper body are moving forward and down. Heels are raised in order to bring skis and upper body into parallel position for the landing. Jumps are the exciting part of every downhill race, and and represent the real difference between this event and the other alpine disciplines. Jumps, however, can be avoided many times by executing a pre-jump. A pre-jump can be done with a stepping move, where one leg is following the other, while the upper body stays in parallel position to skis and snow. The racer is executing an active leap before reaching the lip of the jump. This move gives the racer the possibility to overfly the crown of the jump and land directly behind it. Using both legs at the same time is another possibility to do a pre-jump. Upper body and arms stay in aerodynamically proper position. If jumps are unavoidable and a ski racer loses contact with the snow, he has to know how to behave and react to this situation. It is important to stay in the smallest and most compact position as long as possible while airborne. Only in the end phase of a flight are the legs extended in order to establish enough absorbing space for a smooth touchdown. The attempt to extend the body during the flight is very dangerous. This move increases the surface of the body, opposes the wind, and pushes the racer into a very unstable position, creating problems during flight and landing. High-speed turns are an integral part of downhill racing. Downhills are won or lost most of the time in turns. Usually, downhill turns are started with smooth edge sets and increasing pressure. In the middle of a turn, a racer starts moving his weight from the center of his foot to the heel and pressurizes the back part of his skis. To stabilize this position, the outside arm drives as a counterbalance, forward and down. The tip of the outside ski is much less in contact with the snow than the tail part. This shows that the racer is controlling and steering the turn from the back part of his skis. We have two different ways of executing a turn. The passive way is to extend the outside leg away from the body by leaning into the turn or by applying more or less hip angulation. The knee is only bending in its natural plane, forward and down. The ski is pressurized and bending in reversed camber and is performing a carved turn. active turn is executed with a lot of rotating muscle force out of the upper legs and hip. Cindy, of course, is showing this move in an exaggerated way. The knee is bending forward and also laterally moving to the inside, while the hip is moving into the opposite direction, to the outside. This helps to make tight turns, like in slalom, but can lead to oversteering in a long and fast downhill turn. The skis are actually sliding across the turning direction. It can be observed how too much knee angulation can lead to oversteering and side-slipping in high-speed downhill turns. Here are some examples of good and bad downhill racing. A tuck position should be held while airborne as long as possible, and legs are extended only at the end of the flight. After touchdown, it is important to move into an aerodynamically favorable position as soon as possible. An active turn can be smoothly executed if knee angulation is not exaggerated. This turn is also initiated with active rotating forces. In this turn, we can see a passive turn initiated with hip angulation. Starting turns in the right area is very important. If turns are started too late, like in the next three examples, racers are side-slipping too long and dropping too low on the line. raising his outside arm, is losing proper snow contact with his outside ski, and this will not help him come back on a good line. The change from the right-hand turn to the left-hand turn is performed with a very quiet, stable, and upright upper body and lateral moving legs. Knees and feet are pulled up towards the upper body in order to unweight the skis, and the edge change is accomplished in a very smooth and easy way. We hope this film contributes to a better understanding of downhill racing, which remains the most exciting event of alpine skiing.